we got to start with the NBA Finals. So, first game, Boston murdered them. I mean, it was not particularly close. The final score, 107-89. It was never close. A really bad game for a lot of people on the Mavericks. I mean, they got a total of like, let's see, 2, 4, 7. Oh wait, no, not 7. 20. They got 20 total points off the bench. Um, and that's as many minutes as is that Josh Green or Jalen Green? It's not Jalen Green, is it? Is it? Yeah, it's Josh Green. Josh Green. They had as many points off the bench as Josh Green had minutes in that game, which is 20 for those of you who don't have the box score in front of them. But the story of game one initially was really Kyrie. Kyrie not showing up again against his old team in Boston and seemingly rattled. I mean, the guy shot 0 from 3, 6 for 19 from the field. Just 3 rebounds, couple of assists. He got a couple of steals. He was a negative 19 player on the court and 12 points for Kyrie. Luka, naturally, the whole, got the team on his back at a double-double, 30 points, 10 boards, and 1 assist for Luka that game. But that game was not particularly close. Boston just murdered them. I mean, Jaylen Brown is a stud. I know that there's been this kind of debate about, is Jaylen Brown the best player on the team? Is he better than Tatum, who is seemingly the face of that team? I personally, from an outsider standpoint, not a Boston Celtics fan, don't watch a lot of Celtics basketball. From an outsider standpoint, Jaylen Brown is a better player. Like every time that there's a big shot or any time that you need a big moment, it just seems like Jaylen Brown is the guy who does it. Like whenever I watch Jason Tatum, and it's usually in the playoffs, I don't know. It's like I guess I just never see him really go off. Like really just start murdering people. Like he can make some fine plays on defense. Like in game 2, we'll get into it. He made some really nice rebounds, had some really good plays on defense. But a scoring threat, I mean, this game he was 3 for 7 from 3, 6 for 16 from the field, 16 points for him. But a double-double. I mean, 16 points, 11 rebounds. I'm never going to be mad at a player who gets a double-double. Like, I'm just never. It's not going to happen. Not easy to do for one. And secondly, that's really good, right? Like double-doubles are not, you don't come by them all the time. But Porzingis coming back from that injury, and we'll talk about it later because might be the last we see of Porzingis this finals. But he has 20 points off the bench in 21 minutes. He was fantastic. They just dominated them. I mean, top to bottom, Boston just dominated them in game 1. It was not particularly close. It was never really close. Maybe early on when they started the game, it was close, like 0-0. That was probably when it was close. But outside of that, it was just a blowout. It's just an old fashioned get beat up in the street corner. Maybe in downtown Boston. I don't actually know what Boston is. Boston an unsafe city? I've never been to Boston. I've never heard. The only thing I know about Boston is that Wahlburgers is there and they talk funny. And they got an obsession with Bills. They really like Bills. Bill Russell, Bill Belichick. It's about the only other. I can't think of any other Bills. Billy Buckner. Bill Buckner, huh? Any? It's yeah. What is it with Bills and Boston? Anyway, moving on to game 2, which I thought was the more interesting game. So for one, the game was interesting because it was a lot closer, naturally. So it was just a better game. But secondly, this was the Luka putting the team on his back and nobody helping him. They got a total of 2, 6, 9 points off their bench. 9. Like the German word for no, that's how many points they got off the bench. I mean, Derek Lively played 9 minutes and had 2 more points, or he played 19 minutes. Please, if he played 9 minutes, he'd be lucky to get 2 points. If he played 19 minutes and had 2 more points than me, like And I like Derek Light. Like going into the playoffs. I don't watch Dallas Mavericks basketball, but he was a lot of fun to watch. I expected a lot more from him, but Kyrie Irving again steals the show. He steals the show for not showing up again. Now, granted, slightly better. He had 16 points this time. Unfortunately, he was 0 for again from 3. Like the guy is in the series so far. Was that 0 for 8 from 3? Now, granted, it's been on the road, and I don't know that they don't change the distance depending on where you go on the road. But like, you can't do it. You can't go 0 for if you're like, he's Kyrie Irving. Like, this is the guy who hit the big shot in 2016. Like, how are you gonna go 0 for going up against your old team and just making a fool of yourself like that? That is what like gets me. Is like this guy seemingly at every opportunity will find ways to embarrass. He's like Kevin Durant post Warriors. He just finds ways to embarrass himself, and I'm not opposed. I'm enjoying every second of it. Who's more embarrassed? Like, I think somebody I heard it somewhere. I read it somewhere. Like the Brooklyn Nets with James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. That's like the three-headed embarrassment Hydra. You know, like that. Hydra has more than 3 heads, but that's like the you know what? It's the Cerberus of embarrassing people in the NBA. Just like, and not embarrassing other people, like them individually are embarrassments outside of their. I mean, I guess James Harden never won a title, but outside of Kevin Durant's title runs with Golden State, and then Kyrie, but even Kevin Durant's. Anyway, I just like slandering Kyrie because it's fun and enjoyable, but. The other thing about this game is that similarly, I mean, Jason Tatum, again, we talk about who's the better player on the team, Tatum or Brown. Tatum had a good game, but it's not like anything that's blowing you out of the way. I mean, he was a rebound away from a triple double. So like he had a good game. But Jaylen Brown, 21 points. Jaylen Brown had a pretty bunch of down game. But Drew Holiday decided, you know what? I want blood. I want to murder people. And he got 26 points, 11 boards, double-double for him. Like, when I look up and down the box scores and when I watch the games, it's not like I'm seeing any. I mean, I guess Luka is out there just killing people or just playing amazingly. But the thing about it, like with Boston, it's like, well, you'll just get something from like top to bottom. You'll just get something. Like Al Horford had a terrible game. Okay. 5 points, 7 rebounds, 2. The guy had a triple slam. Not great. Okay. But Drew Holiday comes in and says, you know what? I'll shoot 11 for 14, 2 for 4 from 3. Like, they just have a better roster. And I want to say it was Bob Myers on ESPN in the post game, and I think he said this was absolutely right about this. The MVP of this series is the general manager. like it's not not any one of these guys are like top 5 players in the league, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. I'm just sort of this is a live reaction, okay? I wouldn't say that anybody on the Celtics is top 5 in the league, but they all contribute. Like Derek White contributes on the defensive end. He had a couple of blocks. He had 3 steals. Obviously, Jaylen Brown, he also had 3 steals. And he had, obviously, I already said the 7 assists, 4 boards. Like Tatum was obviously out there. He's getting a steal. He had 12 assists, 9 boards, 8 of them on defense. He had an offensive rebound. Like you only had 1 missed free throw on the offensive side, or from the starters for Boston. That was Tatum, who went 5 for 6. Everybody else was making their free throws. Like, you have contributors top to bottom. Even, I mean, they really didn't even go to their bench all that much. Like Tatum and Brown played 42 or 45 and 42 minutes respectively. Meanwhile, like 41 minutes of Kyrie, you wouldn't have known that he played 41 minutes because the guy got 16 points and didn't make a 3-point. He had as many 3 points as me. Like, but if you were to ask someone who's a bigger name in the NBA, Kyrie Irving or Jaylen Brown, 9 out of 10 people probably going to say Kyrie. And then the 10th guy is a Boston Celtics fan. But like, I think we're seeing a shift. And I've talked about this on the show before, and I've talked about this in previous segments. Like, we're moving away from these like just get like a bunch of superstars and throw them on a team. Like, I guess you could call Tatum or Brown, I guess you could call them superstars, but like to me, they're not like, steal the show. Like everything's about them. It's all about the team. It's all about the like when what's his name? Jason Kidd made that comment about Jaylen Brown being better. Like, I think a much weaker team psychologically that could have been some factor. But ultimately, I don't even I think it's probably been a conversation. I'm pretty sure like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, no, I have no evidence of this. This is just my own conjecture. Like, I'm sure that they are aware of the fact that people have this debate about who's the Batman and who's the Robin of this, the starting five. But realistically, like, they probably just don't care because you're winning and you shouldn't care. Like, if you care that, I don't know, Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless or, me say, oh, this guy is better than this guy on this team. He's the real superstar. He's the real guy who makes the gears turn. Who cares? Like you play on a team because you want to win a championship. Like, I just don't think it matters to these guys. And as a Pistons fan, I have an inherent sense of disliking Boston. I can't hate this team. I really can't. Like, I mean, Tatum, for as people call him soft, people call him weak, and I get it. I mean, the guy, he wasn't amazing, but I mean, 6 for 22 from the field goal is not great. But like, you make up for it in some way. Like, he impressed me on his defensive side. He impressed me with his passes. He impressed me in the fact that he's not making it about him and he's not costing his team the game, despite the fact that he shot 6 for 22. And that speaks volumes to the coaching. I mean, shout out Joe Mazzulla. I know, like last year, I think it was last year, people were really going after Mazzulla, but he's gotten the best out of these guys. And I don't know that this is going to be a sweep, but Dallas, you can't go out there and lose game 3. I mean, obviously going down 3-0 in any series is usually not the marker of success. There's not a lot of teams. I don't think any team has come back down 3-0. So if you're Dallas, you got to keep your hopes alive. First of all, Kyrie, can you just make 1 3? Like just one. I'm not, that's one more than me. I've never taken a 3-point shot. I'm taking as many 3-point. I'm taking as many 3-point shots as you have made 3-point shots, Kyrie. So just go out there. I don't know what you got to tell yourself. Maybe you got to, look at a globe and get angry or something. Maybe you got to crush a globe. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do to get ready for a game, but I don't know. Maybe just look at clips of you from 2016 before, I don't know, you became a bit fraudulent. I don't know. Do whatever it is you want to do. But just make one. Just 1 3. Just 1 3. I mean, when Dante Exum has more threes this series than you. I didn't know Dante Exum was playing. I don't know Dante Exum. He could walk in right now and I would be like, why are you in my house? I don't know who you are. And he's got more threes than Kyrie. Not great. Not great. Hey there, what you just watched was actually a clip from a larger show that we do every Tuesday night. What are you doing Tuesday night? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button so that you don't miss out on any more of our weekly shows every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there.